So this time you shared a really interesting set of examples. We've got IELTS speaking part 1 answers about TV.
Right. And crucially, we have examples at different levels. Band 5 answers contrasted with Band 8 or 9 answers for the same question.
Exactly. So our mission today is basically to figure out what makes the difference, what turns, basic spoken English into something really effective, something clear and engaging.
It's a great way to see it laid out side by side. We're not just talking abstract rules. We're seeing how people actually put their thoughts together when they speak.
Okay, let's jump straight in. First question. Do you like watching TV?
Yeah.
The Band 5 example answer is, TV is okay. Sometimes I watch, not every day. Simple enough, but what's missing?
Well, the first thing is it's just so flat. TV is okay. It tells you almost nothing, right? No real feeling, no personal opinion.
Yeah, very neutral.
And the next bit's, sometimes I watch, not every day. They give a little frequency, I guess, but they feel really disconnected. There's no why. No perspective.
Okay, now let's compare that with the Band 8-9 answer. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of traditional TV these days. I find that it's too restrictive because you have to follow a fixed schedule. I much prefer streaming platforms where I can choose exactly what I want to watch and when. That flexibility is really important to me.
See, totally different ballgame. Right away, you get a clear position, not a huge fan, but more importantly, you get the reason. It's restrictive, fixed schedules.
And then they offer the alternative streaming.
Exactly, and explain why that's better for them, the flexibility, that link, between the opinion and the reason behind it. That's a huge difference maker.
Definitely. Okay, let's move to the next one. Question 2. How often do you watch TV? The Band 5 answer. Maybe twice a week, at night, before sleep.
Yeah.
Again, it's factual.
It is factual, yeah. Gives a frequency, a time. But before, it feels like just separate bits of information, no flow.
Very basic language, too.
Very basic. No real connection between the points. No explanation.
And the Band 8-9 version. These days, I don't really watch live TV often, but I do stream shows regularly, probably 3 to 4 times a week. It usually happens in the evenings when I want to unwind after work. Sometimes I just put on a short episode of something light before going to bed. What works better here?
Well, notice first how they clarify live TV versus streaming. That's more precise.
Good point.
The vocabulary is better to stream, unwind. And even though it's quite subtle, you get a glimpse of the reason, like watching to unwind after work.
Or needing something light before bed.
Right. And using words like usually and sometimes, it just sounds more natural, more like how people actually talk about their habits.
Makes sense. Okay, question 3. What kind of TV programs do you like to watch? Band 5. I like comedy and action. Funny is good. I don't like boring shows. Thoughts?
Couple things jumped out. The grammar's a bit off. Funny is good. And it's super general. Comedy and action, massive categories. And saying you don't like boring shows, well, who does? It doesn't tell us anything specific.
No examples of what kind of comedy or action.
Precisely. No justification, no example.
Okay, contrast that with Band 8-9. I tend to enjoy a mix of genres, but my favorites are psychological thrillers and true crime documentaries. I find them really engaging because they make you think and sometimes even question human nature. For example, I recently watched a series about unsolved mysteries, and it had me hooked from start to finish.
Wow, okay. The specificity is immediate, isn't it? Not just action, but psychological thrillers, true crime documentaries.
Yeah, much more detailed.
And crucially, the why. They're engaging because they make you think, question things.
And the example seals it.
Exactly. That specific series about unsolved mysteries being hooked, it makes the answer concrete, relatable. You understand their taste much better.
Okay, question 4 asks about popular TV in their country. Band 5. Drama shows are popular. People watch a lot, some reality too. What's weak here?
Well, it's just very broad again. Drama shows are popular.
Yeah.
Okay, where? How popular?
People watch a lot, super vague.
Right. And some reality, too, feels tacked on. No specific show titles, no context, no reason why these might be popular. It's just a surface-level observation.
Got it. Band 8-9 answer. Right now, reality shows and daily dramas dominate the ratings in Korea. Shows like Running Man and Penthouse have a massive following. I think people enjoy them because they're fast-paced, emotionally intense, and easy to follow after a long day. Plus, they often feature famous celebrities, which adds to the appeal.
See the difference? Massive. We had a specific place, Korea.
Specific shows, Running Man, Penthouse.
Yes. And then reasoned explanations for why they're popular. Fast-paced, intense, easy viewing after work, celebrity appeal.
It shows much more awareness, doesn't it? And the ability to actually talk about it.
Exactly. It paints a much clearer picture.
Okay, question 5. Do you like watching TV shows from other countries? Band 5. Yes, I watch American shows. Good quality, more fun. What's the issue?
Well, it answers the question, yes. But the reasons? Good quality, more fun. They're just opinions, really weak ones with zero backup.
Very subjective, yeah.
Yeah,
And the phrasing feels a bit abrupt.
definitely. Could be much more developed.
So the Band 8-9 version, yes, I actually watch more foreign TV than local programs. American and British series especially appeal to me because of their production quality, acting, and writing. Recently, I've been into British crime dramas. They're usually more subtle and character-driven compared to Hollywood's fast-paced approach.
Much better. It starts with an interesting point, watching more foreign TV.
That's a good hook.
Then it names countries, gives solid reasons, production quality, acting, writing.
And the specific example of British crime dramas.
Yes, and not just the example, but the comparison, contrasting the subtle, character-driven style with Hollywood's approach. That shows nuance, a more complex thought process.
Makes sense. Let's look at question 6. Has the internet affected your viewing habits? Band 5. Yes, I watch on phone, use internet more, TV less. What's wrong here?
It's so fragmented, it sounds like notes someone jotted down.
Yeah, like telegraphic speech.
Exactly, no connecting words. You get the basic idea, sure, but there's no detail on how things change, no specifics.
Right. Now the Band 8-9. Absolutely. The internet has completely changed how I consume content. I rarely sit in front of a TV set anymore. Instead, I use platforms like Netflix and YouTube on my laptop or phone. I can binge watch entire seasons in one weekend or just watch short clips when I'm commuting.
That absolutely at the start gives it confidence, you know?
It does.
Then it explains the change clearly, rarely using a TV set. Mentions specific platforms, Netflix, YouTube, specific devices, laptop, phone.
And specific behaviors. Binge watching, watching short clips while commuting.
Exactly. It gives concrete examples of the impact, much, much clearer and more detailed.
Okay, next up, favorite TV show. Question 7. Band 5. I like Friends. Funny. I watch many times. How does this fall short?
Well, it names a show, which is a start, but funny, that's about as basic a description as you can get. And I watch many times, just tells us about frequency, not way it resonates, why it's a favorite. It lacks that personal connection or any deeper insight.
Right. Compare with Band 8-9. My all-time favorite TV show would have to be Breaking Bad. The character development is just incredible, and the plot kept me on the edge of my seat from beginning to end. What I love most is how the story evolves in such a believable yet intense way. It's not just entertainment.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about morality and choices.
Again, huge difference. Specific title, Breaking Bad. Then look at the language. Incredible character development on the edge of my seat. Believable, yet intense.
Much more descriptive.
Way more. And crucially, it dives into the why, the plot, yes, but also the deeper stuff, how it makes you think about morality, choices. That adds real substance.
It feels much more personal and considered.
Definitely.
All right, question 8 takes us back. What was your favorite show when you were a child? Band 5. I watch cartoons, like Pokemon and the Rayman. What's missing?
It's just a statement of fact, really. Cartoons is broad. Even with the examples, there's no reflection, no sense of, why these were favorites back then.
No nostalgia, no connection to the feeling of being a kid watching them.
Right. Just recall.
Okay, Band 8-9. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Digimon. I used to rush home after school just to catch the next episode. Looking back, I think I liked it so much because it combined adventure, friendship, and technology in a way that really fired up my imagination.
See, this one has feeling. Obsessed, rush home after school that evokes the childhood experience. And then the reflection, looking back, and the analysis of why it appealed. Adventure, friendship, technology, firing up the imagination.
It shows they've actually thought about it, not just plucked a name.
Exactly. Much more engaging.
Okay, nearly there. Question 9. Do you prefer watching TV alone or with others? Band 5. With friends is good, but alone is okay too. What's the problem?
It's just so non-committal and vague. Both are okay or good. It gives zero insight into their actual preferences or the reasons behind them.
Very basic vocabulary too.
Yeah, it just doesn't say much at all.
Right. Band 8-9 gives us It depends on the type of show. If I'm watching something serious or emotional, I prefer to watch it alone so I can fully focus.
Yeah.
But for comedy or reality shows, I love watching with friends because we can laugh and react together. It's a shared experience.
That it depends. Opening is key. It immediately signals a more thoughtful, nuanced answer is coming.
Good point. It's not a simple yes-no situation.
Right. And then they give specific conditions, serious shows versus comedies, reality shows, and clear reasons for each preference, focusing alone, laughing together.
It explains the thinking behind the preference.
Precisely. It shows a much better ability to articulate those preferences.
Okay, last one. Question 10. Would you like to be on a TV show? Band 5. Maybe. If fun. But I don't like cameras. What's your take?
Well, it's short, a bit grammatically awkward with if fun. And while it hints at a reason not liking cameras, the overall opinion isn't very clear. Maybe is hesitant. It feels underdeveloped.
Gotcha. And the band 8-9. Honestly, I don't think I'd enjoy being on a TV show. I'm a bit camera shy, and the idea of being watched by millions makes me nervous. However, if it were something educational or travel-related where I could share knowledge or explore new places, I might give it a try.
Much clearer. Starts with a direct opinion. Honestly, I don't think I'd enjoy it.
That gives specific reasons camera shy, nervous about being watched.
Right. But then adds that interesting condition, the exception for educational or travel shows.
With the reasoning for the exception too, sharing knowledge, exploring places.
Exactly. It shows a well-rounded thought process, considers different angles, much more comprehensive.
So, okay, we've looked at all 10 pairs. Stepping back, what are the really fundamental things separating these Band 5 answers from the Band 8-9 ones? It's not just having a bigger vocabulary, is it? Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, vocabulary helps, sure, and better grammar makes things clearer. But the real core difference, I think, is about depth and explanation.
Right.
Yeah. The higher scoring answers consistently go beyond the surface. They use specific details, specific examples, instead of just vague ideas.
Like naming actual shows instead of just saying drama.
Exactly. And crucially, they explain why. They give reasons for their opinions, their preferences, their habits. They justify their statements.
Whereas the Band 5 answers often just state things without any backup.
Right. And the sentence structure in the higher bands is generally more varied. It flows better. But maybe the biggest thing is that personal touch.
How so?
The Band 8-9 answers often give you a little window into the speaker's personality, their perspective, their experiences. Think about the Breaking Bad answer or the Digimon one. There's more individuality. It's about showing you their thoughts, not just telling you a fact.
That makes sense. It's like the difference between saying the party was good and actually describing who was there, what you talked about, maybe a funny moment. That detail makes it real for the listener.
Precisely. You're painting a picture with your words. The basic answers give you like a stick figure drawing. The better answers add color, detail, background, perspective. It makes the whole communication richer, more informative, and frankly, more interesting to listen to.
So here's a thought for you, the listener, to maybe chew on. Think about a topic you find really easy to talk about, something you know inside out. How could you deliberately take your own response about that topic and push it? Push it from just stating the facts, that Band 5 level, towards something richer, more like that Band 8-9 level we've been discussing. Think about adding more specific examples, explaining your reasoning more fully, maybe adding a personal story or perspective. What is it about that topic that makes your understanding of it rich and engaging? And then how can you actually get that richness across